I don't want to do that one. Let's do another one. Well, I guess we got to do that one.
Yes.
It's all good, baby. We're back with another one. This is, once again, Dog and Dave. Dave, how you doing, man? We're back with another show, another rendition of our collaboration of Dog and Dave. Anybody out there, y'all tuning in? Y'all see these faces right here? We back, baby.
We're back. Oh, man, almost knocked my mic over in excitement, but Big Dog, I'm a new man since we last got together. You see, I got this nice little mic. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. And I'm kind of coming out of hibernation, after the season, after the holidays, kind of peeling back on the collaborations a bit. But man, I feel like I'm recharged. I'm getting back ready to go. Adam Munster Tiger's been bringing me out of hibernation, and I'm glad we got season 2 of Dog and Dave here. So y'all hit that like. Y'all let us know what your thoughts are on today. We got a lot to talk about.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Shouts out to Adam. Shouts out to everybody we've been collaborating with in the off season. You know what I mean? Just to get ourselves back out there, continue to stay out of hibernation, so to speak. But do our thing and continue to produce this content on Coach Prime, Colorado Buffs, and college football. So subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to continue to get these links to where you can stay updated. When we do go live, you'll see it, and you won't be hitting us up saying, "Hey, I never see when you go live. When you going live?" Well, hit that notification bell right next to the subscribe bell, a button. Then you'll be able to see all the notifications.
Yeah, it's on you. It's on you, not me.
Tell them, dog. It's on you, not us. You know what I mean? It's not our fault that you don't see it. But we're trying to put it on here and bring out more and more content for you guys as we're approaching 1 week away from the start of real spring football out there on the field.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. I'm so ready. I never thought I'd be looking so forward to practice footage, man. I just need a little bit of football. I need to see these guys competing in pads, not just shorts and shirts, man. I want to see some contact. I want to see some real trash talk. I want to see some eye pokes. What are you excited for, Big Dog?
Dog, say you ready for some eye pokes? Hey, I'm ready to just, right now they're in the mat drills and winter workouts and stuff. I'm just ready to get back on the football field and get the football actually out there where they're on some green grass. You put on cleats. You feel like you're back playing football. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm ready for. Once you get out there in that fresh air, and I think if they're doing 2-a-days, they might start off indoors and then go out on the field later on. But whatever it is, man, I'm ready for them to get them pads on, get them cleats on, get the ball in there. Shadour's throwing the ball. We can finally see how some of these newcomers move, with the helmets on, with cleats on, and against one another on the football field. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of different positions that I feel like are up for grabs. And I'm feeling good, Big Dog. I feel like we've improved the roster, and it's on the Buffs this year. If any Buffs players listening to this, it's on you to keep me nicotine free this year. It's on you, special teams, to keep the Newports out of my apartment. I don't want to be smoking this year because I'm so anxious about what's going on with special teams. I'm feeling better about the team this year.
Not the Newports, dog. Not the Newports.
Yeah. I don't want to get hit up by the Newports for an endorsement deal on David Talks Buffs. I mean, I will take it, but that is bad news if they're looking to sponsor this thing.
Oh man, not the Marlboros. Not the Marlboros. I smoke Marlboros because I'll be here tomorrow, bro. I smoke Cools. Two O's handcuffs together. No, I don't. We got to stay off the cigarettes, off the nicotine. None of that for us. But like you said, we did have some position changes on the Buffs. We're going to get to that. But first, with all of the good things going on in Buff Nation and all the stuff that went on last year with the spring game and the anticipation this year with Prime Weekend going on, dog. You telling me that I just read the news that ESPN won't broadcast the spring game this year? What are they thinking? What's going on? Did you see that news?
Man, I was pissed off, man. I was pissed off. But then people let me know the NFL drafts that same weekend. So it's like, all right, like I'm not gonna be as upset. But I mean, come on, day 3. You can't put this on ESPN too. That's what I was, but Coach Prime, we got enough connections that I think that we can find another network to carry this. I put out a little bit of a video with a shirtless Jeff Bezos on the thumbnail because I thought that looked cool. And maybe Amazon Prime, maybe they pick it up. Maybe Fox picks it up. What do you think about that, Big Dog? Were you a little bit surprised? What do you think about it after a few hours to let it set in?
Yeah, after a few hours letting it set in, let me realize that, yeah, Coach Prime wants to do business, and it's all about business, especially this year, and knowing what, we saw what happened last year. We saw the numbers and the results. But this year, dog, let's do business, all right? Y'all don't want to put it on. Y'all don't want to do right. Well, there's other networks that can put it on. Yeah. We just did a successful showing on Amazon Prime. We can do a deal with the other network. Go to FS1. We can do a deal and put it on ABC, whatever. It could be pay-per-view. Didn't we see some games that was NFL that was on pay-per-view this year?
Peacock, Prime, all that.
Didn't they break records?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
If people want to see it, they're going to find a way to go see it. So all the eyeballs that was on Colorado spring game last year should be highly and even more anticipated this year. I don't see why. I can't see a situation where it's just going to be a blackout and you're not going to be able to watch the game on TV or pay for it. Now, come on, dog.
Yeah. You got to imagine with ESPN putting 4 of the other Big 12 teams on ESPN Plus for their spring game. They probably offered that to Colorado. And no, man, we can go find another major network to carry it. And that's going to be fine. A dark horse possibility that I want to throw out into the web atmosphere, the Twitterverse, whatever, is get Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams to call this thing, man.
Ocho.
Yes, have Ocho there.
Hey, you know what, Dave? That might be a good idea. We might go out and have Nightcap, Ocho, and Shay Sharp with Prime in Boulder, Colorado. Ocho. Hey, Dave. I might need to get you and Big Dog to come on the show with that because that's a great idea right there, Dave. To have Nightcap, hey, that might with all the independent platforms out there nowadays that can produce high quality content. Someone can come and will come and broadcast this whole weekend a fashion show, a possible performance from a A-list entertainer. Come on, Doc. This would be, something that they cannot let be blacked out like it's a football game that, people not attending or something. No, this is something different, So shouts out to everybody out there who checking in right now. We got a lot of people in the chat. I see you. You see it on your end. Shouts out to, let me see, Baby Girl. We got we got Rawhide Media up in here. Selma Johnson up in here. Warren Loans, Tremaine Young, Bodie, everybody, man. Shouts out to you guys.
Everybody's finally in here, the whole crew
up in here for the for us getting back together, baby. So, like I said, ESPN won't be broadcasting. Here's I guess the official news that was broken. Colorado's football game, spring game was a sold out spectacle last year that aired on ESPN. It should be sold out once again in 2024, but you won't be able to watch it on ESPN this time around. A full slate of college football spring games was announced by the network on Monday, and missing from the schedule, of course, was Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, which is crazy to me. Last year, Colorado's spring game was the only broadcast on ESPN's main network. Even the back-to-back defending champion Georgia Bulldogs spring game appeared on ESPN2. On the same day of Colorado's second spring game under Sanders, Saturday, April the 27th, West Virginia will have its spring game tune-up aired on ESPN+. The Mountaineers are one of 4 Big 12 teams, including Baylor, Houston, Texas Tech, that will appear on ESPN networks for spring action. Who knows why they made this decision, but we're speculating right now. We'd love to get you guys' comments and see what's going on, man. What else could you speculate and where do you see it heading? You know, at the end of the day, Dave.
Well, I want this fashion show to go on. I know there's talks about it, but my expectations are high, man. I feel like if you're gonna tease a little bit of a fashion, this better be, one of those brands. It better be something like Louis Vuitton, anything like that. I don't want to see a Gap. I don't want to see $20 Yeezy shirts, being sold in the wrong size out here, man. This. If you're gonna talk about a fashion show, this better be a real fashion brand. Yeah. And I know you got a little bit more birdies over there in Boulder, Big Dog. Can you drop us any hints? Can you drop us any clues on what kind of fashion show we're going to be getting?
Hey man, a fashion show. It's going to be probably more of a party because thinking about it though, a fashion show would be right up the alley for Smack Entertainment and Deion Sanders because under that umbrella, and shout out to Miss Constance Swartz Marini, they have what Michael Strahan, who has a fashion line. They have what's her name, Erin Andrews, who has a women's fashion line. They have Coach Prime's line. They have is someone else I'm missing? I think it's another brand that they have, right? So with the Coach Prime shoes, ties, clothing, Michael Strahan suits, Aaron Andrews. That's a fashion show right there. That's all under one umbrella. And like it goes back to at the end of the day, it's all business and it's all marketing and promotions. We're gonna have all these people here. We got to do something with them besides just show them a football game. We got to do something with them.
And I'm just gonna throw this out there. I'm tall and skinny, guys. Put me in the fashion show. Put me in the fashion show if you need models. David Talks Buffs. And put Chico out there, man. Fly him out here for this thing.
Hey, you can fly me out with the donations and all this other stuff like somebody else said back in the day. But I would not probably be I would not be walking in the fashion show. I'll be filming, I'll be talking, I'll be interviewing, but y'all don't want your boy walking. I'll be the one trip up. I'll be the one. The stuff don't even fit me right. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm good on that on the walking in the fashion show. But that's one thing, man. ESPN would not be broadcasting it live this year, but that doesn't mean anything. That goes back to what like my grandmother, Dave. My grandmother used to say, and she used to tell me, Shannon, and your brother and your sister, when one door is closed, the other one is open, or something like that. Ocho, you know what I mean? Hell, you know what I'm talking about. But when one door is closed, another one is definitely open. So ESPN won't be broadcasting it, but you got plenty of other networks out there that I think will. So next topic will be players holding each other accountable. We saw a video posted today by the CU Buffs showing those guys in the locker room really getting after it. And we've seen other videos from Well Off Media and Reach the People Media and the pregame show where these guys are challenging each other in the weight room. It's a different ball game now, a different vibe now. How do you feel like this will help the Buffs moving forward in this 2024 season with the players holding each other accountable?
Yeah, we need to make everything a competition, Big Dog. That I feel like there were some games this past year where we just kind of, checked out for whatever reason or the other. I know that a lot of the team was sick against Washington State, but that's a pretty clear example of, I didn't really feel like we were in it from the get-go. It was cold, nasty weather out there. Hopefully we never have to play another game up in Washington State ever again. But we need some of that. We need some more of that nasty. We need more of that. I was it Cleo Benson that came in, last month saying, "Hey, I'm here to take your job." We need that type of energy, man, where people are they're really coming to take each other's positions. We need some of that because that's only going to make us more resilient and more competitive, I feel like, moving forward. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm not the college football player. You're the college football player. Have you been on teams where there's been a little bit difference in how the team competes with each other? And what's it like when you got guys coming in and telling guys straight to their face that they're here to take their job?
Oh, it makes you step up. It's another way of when Coach Prime first came in and he had that first speech and he told those guys, you can jump in the portal, you can get it. What it's the same thing. It's like now the players are doing that and holding each other accountable and putting that pressure on one another. And you'll see the better players are going to elevate now because they see other guys that's next to them or behind them or whatever hungry and pushing and just as talented. And that's going to make you stay on top of your game. Iron sharpens iron, just like they're saying in the chat right now. And that's exactly, what this is. When you bring in these guys, it's going to push the other guys. I was a part of you can, this can go back to whatever team. I was a part of an arena football team that when I first joined it was like the Bad News Bears in some aspects. But as I came and other players added to that team mid-season, and so by the end of the season, we were kicking butt, but that came because of the camaraderie and the guys that came in from other great programs that wanted to hold the rest of the guys accountable. So first of all, when I come in there, I'm like, what is this? What's going on? We got to clean this up. Other guy come in and echo that. Another guy come in and bring in his own style of doing it, but they're coming from respectable backgrounds to where, you either going to get with it or get gone. And that's what Benson, Mayers, Barnes, Chidozie, that's what they're coming in for. So shouts out to them.
I got a question for you on this, Big Dog. When you got a guy, say a team that you're on, they bring in some other guys at your position, you're wanting to come together as a team, but man, like, are you guys like more like frenemies or friends? Like, how do you manage that whole thing with like creating continuity, but also like wanting to beat the other guy's ass?
Hey man, great question. Like you'll see, great example like would be Jimmy Horn Jr. and LeJounte Wester, right? Wester coming from a position of wide receiver where he had a lot of production. We saw what Jimmy Horn Jr. did last year, and his rapport already that's there with Shedeur Sanders. How would those guys mesh? And not just them specifically, but how would anyone mesh in that aspect with them coming from the same state, knowing how their mannerisms, knowing how they are. They probably knew each other before even this, knowing they play the same position, knowing he's a dog, but I'm a dog too. It's a frenemies type of deal if you never met the person, but if you knew this person or knew of them beforehand, you just know that it's competition. It's nothing personal, and I need you to win. You're only going to push me to be better. Whoever is on the field, I'm going to be rooting for, and it's only going to make us better as a team. Back to arena ball again. I had a frenemy situation, right? I was playing linebacker, and we brought in a guy who had already played arena ball the year before, so he knew how to play the position of linebacker in arena ball at the time. You got to stay within 5 yards. You can't do this. You got to know the rules, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
So I went through the first few games. I thought I was pretty productive, but then here comes a former teammate of mine coming in to play the same position on the same team, and I'm like, shoot, he know what to do, but am I going to just no? We got to compete, dog. And I don't hate you, and I hope you don't hate me, but we got to compete. And at the end of the day, we're on the same team, and we're looking to beat the other guys. The competition, I mean, the enemy is not each other. The enemy is the guys across from us. So I think
so you've never put laxatives in any of your teammates' water bottles just to get that edge up on them in practice, anything like that?
Who told you that? It's like the Vlad TV. Like how you knew that? Who told you that?
Like, or who's man, what's his name? What's his name? The music guy. Do you know who I'm talking about? The weird
Nardwar.
Yes, dude, that guy knows everybody's life.
Nardwar. Shouts out to Nardwar, man.
Nardwar, man. That guy's amazing.
Isn't he? All right. Relationships built off the field translates on the field. How? I guess I can answer this one right quick since it is football related, but it can go in life also, and not just in football. But relationships built off the field, like in that weight room right now, translates on the field. How? Example, if I'm a linebacker, right, and I have defensive linemen in front of me that I need to get in position. If I don't have a special relationship with them, I might be thinking, can I talk to Big Shane Coates like this? Can I tell him to go over here instead of being over there? Will
Right.
he take it the right way? Will he do it as soon as I tell him to do it because he trusts me? And now it's not a thinking game. It's not me telling him to do it, and then he looking back at me like, "Why are you telling me to do that?" And now we arguing, and now the play's going on. Boom, and now we beat. If we have a relationship forged before that in the weight room, where I know he's holding me accountable for the betterment of the team, and whatever he's telling me is not to hurt me. If he's telling, "Hey, slide, slide, slide," and I know he's the leader because that's been established, right, off the field and in the weight room, I'm going to slide.
Mhm.
But if we don't have that relationship, then that person is subject to doing whatever he might want to do, and then you have a broken, a weak link in the chain, which is gonna you're only as strong as your weakest link. So all of these things that are being forged right now, like Coach Mo said, the details and such, all these things are going to translate on the field in a major way. Is there anything you could share with that? Off the field, in work, in school, in relationships, in life, how that can translate.
Man, I'll just say this, Big Dog. There's been a few situations throughout my career that, hey, I've worked with some people in which I have become like best friends with these people, and during those times, man, like the way we work is higher than 90% of the other jobs that I've had, man, because I like to just honestly, I like to keep my work just separate from my personal life. Like I don't want to hear about it. We'll just come in here and do a job. That's about it. But I've had a couple situations where, yeah, like if you're working with somebody that you really care about, you're able to take whatever project or business you're working on to that next level. And it might just be like an unconscious thing sometimes. It's not always something that you're always cognizant of, but I think that's totally true. And I think like sometimes, I see the project manager memes. I'm a project manager, so it's just like, me closing my laptop for the weekend while everything's burning, you know, totally done that, man. Totally done that. But then there's also been some other friends and other teams where I haven't done that because I've cared about them a little bit more. Maybe that's that makes me a hypocrite or whatever. But I'm just being honest. I'm not like that with everybody. And yeah, you need to find the right situation to get the most out of you.
Right, right. All right. So, a lot of things like that. Let us know what you feel about this topic right here in the comments below. Get down there right now as we move on. The difference between winning and losing. A clip was posted, of course, and I saw Coach Mo saying, and this is not just a black and white thing right here. What the difference between winning and losing? He got more points. I got less points. No, this is what's being built right now, the details, the small things, the get on the line, everybody on the line and go on the whistle. Somebody's going before the whistle. Somebody's false starting. All of these things, if you're doing them right now in the weight room in mat drills, then that'll translate, like we said, to the field. So we have to nip that in the bud right now. Get all these details correct right now. If we tell you to wear short black socks, you need to wear short black socks, not the long ones, not the white ones. We tell you to start on the line, not behind it, not past
Mhm.
it. Tell you to go on the whistle, go on the whistle.
Yep.
All of these little things are things that they're trying to get right now. I think these are the differences between winning and losing, and goes back to what Coach Prime would say is, winning starts right now, man. We have to start right now. So
Mhm.
that's my take on it right there.
Man, I think if we didn't lead FBS football in penalties, we were pretty close to doing it this past year. So whatever we were doing last year, man, wasn't good enough. Yeah, it definitely seems like we're having a closer attention to detail on those things, and that is necessary because our team did not earn the right to have a little bit more of that leniency during this period, during
Right.
practices, right? Like you got to earn that type of stuff. And we didn't, man. We're starting again from ground zero when it comes to discipline.
ground zero, and that's what it is. You got to have that foundation. I like that. So, shouts out to Coach Mo and the strength staff, Coach Reyes, Coach RT, Coach Uha, and all the interns there with the Buffs. Which transfers will make the biggest impact to you?
Oh man, this is a great question, Big Dog. I mean, we got a lot of guys to talk about. I'll start with kind of a dark horse one that I've been wanting to ask you about as well. Listening to Robert Livingston's interview with Uncle Neely the other day had me kind of thinking about this player a little bit. Might there be an expanded role for Keaton Wade than what we saw from him at Kentucky? You know, he's kind of a guy that played a little bit of inside linebacker, played some edge, played out in the slot a little bit. He's somebody that can do a lot of different things. Depending on who you ask, I don't know. I feel like our linebacker area is still a little gray. Could we possibly see him in, playing a little bit more linebacker? Robert Livingston has talked about just wanting to get the best athletes on the field, wanting versatile players who can do more than just one thing. And I feel like Keaton Wade, although like in my projection list, I didn't have him as a starter because I didn't know kind of where he was. He might play a more impactful role for us and a productive role than maybe some of us are anticipating. What do you think about him?
Yeah, Keaton Wade could be one of those guys that, like Coach Livingston said, he wants to have his playmakers in position to make plays. He want to have his shooters like Steph Curry out there shooting the ball, not setting picks or such. And Keaton Wade, I think, could be one of those guys who can make those plays. 6'4", 245 junior. Spring Hill, Texas, played at Kentucky, had a transfer rating of what was it, 0.8700, and number 220 ranked player overall, number 13 edge. He saw action in 12 games last year, 35 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a sack. I think put in the right position from what I've seen from his physical ability, I think he can line up at the edge position or at the weak side linebacker position, opposite of a guy like Bentley, in that same position that Trevor Woods played last year. Maybe more of a rundown guy, but can also line up outside in the buck position to rush the quarterback and get some pressure on the quarterback. Had a few hurries last year in the times that he did get a chance to rush the quarterback. So I just think it's all about scheme and putting them in position. And Coach Livingston is one of those guys who's going to identify those playmakers, those ball hawks out there, and put them in a position to do what they're good at. And that's very important for a defensive coordinator to do that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see a little bit more like just better use of versatility from our players this year. I think that we've gotten better athletically, and I think that should, like, Jalen Wester is another one of those guys that's coming in here as well at the linebacker room. Like, that guy can fly, you know? And like I think we're getting faster too, which is really important from the linebacker position. But I wouldn't, Bentley's not a transfer, but I still wouldn't count him out on seeing a significant amount of snaps on the field as well.
Right.
We're always dealing with injuries. Yeah.
Like you said, though, Wester, I think he probably can play with Bentley or challenge him for that spot in certain situations. Also, DeMore Kennedy should be coming back a lot more healthy. Will we add more at that linebacker spot? We'll see. We saw 2 linebackers, or 1 middle linebacker switch over from linebacker Morgan Pearson. He's now at tight end. So that might open up another spot there. Jeremiah Brown should be stepping up a lot this year. He's more inside now. So, but the question is, which transfers will make the biggest impact? I think it's going to be on the outside at the cornerback spot with DJ McKinney or Preston Hodge.
Yes.
They're going to be challenging and helping out Marion Cooper and Kamani McLean. And then you got young guys behind them. So, and then Adam Hopkins came over from the wide receiver, and Isaiah Hodge. Still got Israel Solomon there, Namir Robinson, and a couple other guys. So, hey, we're deep at those positions. And the transfers that we brought over, I think, are guys who can really make impacts.
And we would be crazy to forget Big Dog about the offensive line transfers. I mean, if we're going to see a night and day difference from this offense, it's going to be because of a lot of the new guys that we brought in. Do you have like a favorite that you're most excited for to see on the field? Give me your take right now on our offensive line.
The big buffs. Shouts out to the big buffs, DT2, 50-50 gang, SGE Entertainment, the big dogs, the big buffs on that offensive line. Who am I most excited about? One, I don't know if I can say one, dog. I'm excited about all of those guys as a unit, from the center spot with Yakiri Walker to the two guard positions with Mayers and Johnson. And then you still have Tyler Brown there and Hank Zielinski's at center. Jordan Seaton, David Connor, Savion Washington, Khalil Benson. The one guy, if I had to break it down, it's too hard for your boy, dog. It's too hard for your boy. I'm going to say, I'm going to go with the biggest then. I'm going to say Big Tyler Johnson, coming over from Houston, who had the highest I've ever rated. He should be probably the highest rated guy on the college football game when it comes out this summer, that I'm excited about also. So, I would say Tyler Johnson.
Let's
being
go.
that big power run guy who we can say, if we need 2 yards, we're going to run behind the center, whoever that be, whether it's Johnson or whether it's Brown or Walker, and we're going to run behind this big right guard. You know, no slouching or slacking to Mayers and such, but we got a big right guard like Tyler Johnson. We need 2 yards. I'm running behind him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He need to be raising his hand and say, hey, run the ball behind me, coach.
I think that's the biggest difference we'll see is, like, I know that there's a lot of debate on, like, who do you see starting at right tackle? Yeah, but I think the biggest difference maker, biggest impact we'll see is with the interior line. I was going to say Justin Mayers. So then we cover the guards. I think, right there, our ability to run inside. I think, again, we're not having undersized guys at that position anymore. We got the beef up front at the guard position, and I think we're going to see, again, a lot of debate on how often we're going to run it, yada, yada, yada. Don't care. We're going to run a lot more efficiently, I feel like, than we did this past year with those guys up there. And then now we got the luxury of having somebody like Tyler Brown. If he's not starting at one of those positions, we have him as somebody that can come in there at either guard spot or center spot or play. Hank Zielinskis, a guy that I think a lot of us want to count out because of just the offensive line wasn't good at all last year, but somebody that I could see taking a jump and being one of those main guys off the bench if needed. Kareem Harden, man. I like Kareem Harden. Okay. I thought he played okay, and he's one of our bigger offensive linemen. But let's break down the offensive line a little bit. You feel like there's any other sleepers that we need to keep an eye on?
Yeah, shouts out to Big Kareem, man. A sleeper will be my guy then, David Connor. A lot of people have been sleeping on him, forgot about him with that pec injury. He can play all over that offensive line, kind of like a Swiss Army knife, left tackle, right tackle. I think what he would do is probably kind of observe, and I don't know, but maybe the coaches are doing this, probably kind of observe which spot will be probably less solidified, so to speak. Like if Jordan Seaton is really showing that he's as advertised, then maybe the coaches are like, okay, that spot is secured. We're worried about right tackle. And you got Savion Washington there from last year. You got Khalil Benson there. And maybe Connor goes there and compete with those two guys because it might be a not so sure position feel right there if Seaton is showing that way. Or he can compete with Seaton, and Washington and Benson will compete with each other. But either way, we're at least 2 deep across that offensive line, in my opinion, from left tackle to left guard across the line.
Yeah.
We're at least 2 deep. You said Kareem Harden. We named Hank Zielinskis, Tyler Brown, Yakiri Walker, Mayers, Johnson, and the outside guys. We're 2 deep across that offensive line right now, barring nobody leaves after the spring game.
Yeah, let's hope not. I want to keep as much continuity as we can.
Yeah, I like that. And plus, they've already been going through that Coach Mo workout. Let's keep it going. But we did see a couple staff changes since the ending of the season. We
Yes.
had one yesterday with one of the recruiters leaving with Chandler Durrell. He's moving on from the recruiting staff, but at the same time, we saw Coach Riz come in. So, maybe it was working like that. We knew he was going to be Coach Riz coming in. So, shouts out to him. Looking forward to him, moving on to doing his thing. But we're also looking forward to bringing in Coach Riz, who I just had on my show. Y'all can check out that interview this past Friday. And we'll be doing each and every Wednesday, we'll have our recruiting biz with Coach Riz show going on. So check that out with myself and Coach Riz. But a few other changes. What other changes were noticeable to you, Dave?
Well, probably the one that I celebrated the most was, of course, getting a new offensive line coach, man. We'll just stick on the offensive line. Enough with Bill. None of my guys know their assignments. So Boyle, he's out of here. Now we're bringing in Phil Oldholt, and I'm hoping that some of these guys can be developed. I think this past year we saw guys get worse. We saw guys on the offensive line lose their confidence. We can't have that happen this year. Our guys got to get more confident, and they got to get better as the year goes on. So, of course, I love the fact that we made that switch. I think that's wonderful. And then I guess with Robert Livingston, I love that he's here. I think given this is kind of what I was expecting, Big Dog, was if they were going to target somebody from the NFL, it was going to be somebody that coached at a position group level for quite a while and was looking for that opportunity to call plays, hadn't gotten that chance yet in the NFL. And so I think that this is a great opportunity for him to really prove himself. And I like the fact that, Pat Shurmur, he's an older guy, maybe towards the close of his career, rather than close to the start of it, obviously. And I like that we kind of balance out that energy by getting a coordinator on the defensive side that's young, that's hungry, that has his whole career ahead of him. I kind of like that balance. I think that's always good for the room and the staff to have a different mix of guys and different energies that they can kind of all help each other out. They're not all at the same place. So, those are probably two hires that I am really excited about. And then I've warmed up to the Pat Shurmur thing, man. I remember saying a few months ago, Big Dog, I might even sit on the show, is that nobody's coming here to play for Pat Shurmur. Nobody's coming here to play for Pat Shurmur. Who wants to play for that crusty guy? And, now look, we've gotten some nice transfers, recruits coming in. This is great. We saw Julian Lewis. I did a whole apology video to Pat Shurmur for this. I said, man, I'm sorry. But Julian Lewis said, you know what? What made a big impression on me was the hiring of Pat Shurmur. Man, never would have thought. So I'm wrong on that. I've warmed up to the idea of it. I like the fact that Shador and the offense already have a relationship with him. Again, continuity, hiring from within. Coach Dancy, hiring from within. That type of thing. That's what good programs do to ensure, sustainable success long term. So I like that. I like that Pat Shurmur sticking around. And I've warmed up to the idea. I'm sorry, Pat Shurmur. We'll find out, if Pat Shurmur's whole career, if he should have just been in college football his whole life. I guess we'll find that out this year.
Quite possible, quite possible. You never know. But he did have some success in the NFL when he did have a good and capable quarterback. Shouts out to Sam Bradford and Donovan McNabb. So let's see here. Let's see. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, comment, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can get the notifications when we do go live for the next time. Because when we do go live, we're going to have us coming soon. We're going to have us some merch coming soon, dog. Dog and Dave merch soon.
Yeah. Sponsored by Newport Cigarettes. Let's go. So. I gotta say, man, there's no feeling like bumming a cigarette off somebody when you're walking back to your car after a loss or after blowing a 29-point lead to Stanford, man. Going to a Nuggets playoff loss, something like that, man. There's nothing like bumming a cigarette after something that's Can knock on right.
My boys used to call it a square back in the day. Let me get a square. Let me get a square.
Yeah.
Y'all call it squares? You know what a square is?
Man, I've never heard that. I just know the betting squares.
Yeah, my boy used to call them squares back in the day. Let me get a square. Let me get a square. Boy, you crazy, boy. Hey. All right. Dog and Dave merch coming soon. Get ready for it. All right.
$69.69. It's going to be the price.
$69.69.
Sorry.
Leaders of the new buffs. Leaders of the new buffs. Who do you think will be emerging? Put them in the comments. Also, let us know. We'll be emerging as the leaders of the new buffs.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of angle I want to take with this, because we got guys that are returning this year instead of everybody being new. So that's a big difference. Having a lot more guys that are comfortable, you're just able to speak up more. After you've been somewhere for a while, where everybody's not the new guy. I would like to see. I know Shador's a little bit more soft-spoken sometimes, but I would like to see him become a little bit more vocal as well, being the quarterback and everything. And so that might be kind of a casual take, but in terms of returners, I would like to see him step up. I'd like to see Dylan Edwards step up again. Like, a lot of people don't give Dylan credit for his toughness as a true freshman running back, 170 pounds, giving his all out there in the ridiculous pass blocking that he was always, asked to do. And no complaints from him. You never saw him shine out of the way of guys. I would like to see him continue to establish himself as a leader. And hey, a lot of people don't think that this is good, but I like it. I don't care if you have a letter on his chest or not. I think he's going to be playing snaps for us. You need a guy on the team like Shane Cokes, man. People don't like it. People don't like to hear it, but I like Shane Cokes. I'm in the Shane Cokes corner. We're a better team with him on the team right now than with him off the team. What are your thoughts, Big Dog?
Yeah, for sure. Shouts out to Shane Cokes. Who do I think will emerge as the leaders of this team? Yeah, I think Shane will continue to be one of the leaders on the team. But I think that will be established. It's being established right now. We've seen Coach Prime call out some guys. We've seen some guys taking that role. But for one, as a former member of a football team, of course, always, every team I've ever been a part of, I'm trying to sit here and think, I've ever been a part of a team where the leader or one of the main leaders is not the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think so. That's number one. Shador will have that L on his jersey for being a leader. Number two, you'll probably have 2 on offense, 2 on defense. So my second one on offense, I would love for it to be a center. But if not a center, then a vocal offensive lineman, which it can be, like you might see with the San Francisco 49ers and big Trent Williams or something like that. You can't have a big Khalil Benson being a leader. You can't have Tyler Brown or Tyler Johnson or your Kerry Walker being a leader, or even a guy like McCaskill, who I've been seeing being a lot more vocal back there, Travis Hunter. But it's going to be those guys who put in the work, people respect, and actually can make plays on the football field. So, so shouts out to Shador, number 1 on offense, number 2 on defense. Shane, a holdover from last year, but I think a guy like Chidozie can step up and be a leader. Yeah. Bentley is a leader. Shiloh back there, Trevor Woods. I don't. You got a lot of type leaders on this team.
No more stripping the dog off the jersey, though. We got enough guys this year where we put it on in the jersey, man. It's sticking. So let's just keep it off of the special teams players, man.
People thought I was the controversial one.
I am, man. I'm going Dark Side Dave on you right now. I'm sorry.
Dark Side Dave on him. Yes. All right. Dave did call Coach Sherman crusty and everything they said in the comments.
Yeah.
But he said he took it back, though. He made a whole video on it. All right.
Yeah. I apologize.
Much love to everybody coming in right now who's been checking in. Y'all make sure hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as you come in. Dog and Dave, we're back at it like a addict. You know what I'm saying? So Who are your sleepers for spring ball? Put them in the comments. Let us know right now, Dave. Who are your sleepers for spring ball?
Man, I'll give you two. I'll give you two. Well, first, let me circle back to this last topic really quick, Big Dog, in terms of leadership.
All right.
The only people that are allowed to post merch at halftime, Dog and Dave. Dog and Dave, you can get your shirts at halftime. We'll be posting about that. Just want to get that out there. That's the only merch you should see for sale. Connected to CU, Dog and Dave merch at halftime. Now, let me go ahead and get into the sleepers. I'll start with one, I guess. A guy, because we don't have the full receiver room there yet. And who's to say that he can't jump into the top 3? Who's to say? He's got the natural ability. He isn't true freshman this past year. Omarion Miller, man, we saw a little bit of flashes from him. It can be tough for freshmen to come on and see consistent playing time, especially with what we found out that he was asked to run like a ton of option routes that can be a little tough, for a freshman, having to read the defense off the snap like that. And hopefully in this new system where there still are going to be option choice routes, all of that, but maybe Pat Shurmur simplifies things a little bit so that we could just focus on getting the best athletes on the field quicker, because I feel like that's where we didn't do ourselves any favors last year. As much as like I was hyped about Javon Antonio, calling him Calvin Johnson, he kind of ran like he ran like me out there in Calvin Johnson's body, man. Like we can't have that. So we just need Omarion Miller on the field. So count him in as one of those sleepers.
That man was battling some injuries last year. Shouts out to my guy Javon Antonio.
And he looked like it, man. I hope he got a knee replacement, hip replacement, everything.
Damn, dark side. Damn. All right. My sleepers for spring ball, DSD, Dark Side Dave.
Yep.
My sleeper for spring ball. Damn, you made me forget. Okay. Shimon Maytair, my tight end.
Dude, yes. We need a real tight end. Yeah, break it down for me, Big Dog.
Real tight end, can stay on the field all 4 downs, passing, running, play action, whatever it is. That intermediate big target for Shedeur is going to be huge, I think, for moving the chains and just to keeping the things going and not knowing whether we're going to be in a run situation or not. Because a lot of times we can kind of say, hey, they're going to pass the ball because they don't want their tight end on the field in run blocking situations. So if he's on the field, he's in the slot, they're going to pass. If they bring in a bigger guy, we know that they're going to run. So they can kind of play that. And we had too many tips on offense last year with a consistent, true tight end who can do it all. That's going to keep the defense a lot more balanced, and that'll give us a lot more diversity in play calling, and to where our offense, Pat Shurmur, can be a lot more creative in calling these plays. But I think it makes us dangerous with him on the field. He can come from the fullback position or the tight end, H-back position. You can have Wester, Horn, and in some cases, Travis Hunter on the field at the same time. You can have Will Shepherd on the field, Marion Miller on the field. These young guys, Draylon Miller, Michael, and I like Jordan Onavoge, who came over the red shirt. He's been looking like a beast in the weight room, and that's a lot of times that's what keeps young freshmen off the field is the fact that they're not developed in the weight room yet. So to see him stacked the way he is, I've seen his film from high school. I know he has the ability to play. So, he might be able to crack the playing time. I
love that.
Crack the field this year at wide receiver this year. We'll see.
Let's. I also wanted to bring up with the tight end room, the receiving cores, everything like that. Thought it was really interesting. Morgan Pearson making a change to tight end because he was an athlete that I was really excited to see play linebacker. And I found that kind of interesting that it was Corey Phillips that approached him about making a position switch over to the offensive side of the ball. And I think Corey only does that if he feels like Morgan has a higher probability of getting on the field quicker and
Exactly.
a higher ceiling, in terms of his impact that he can have on the team. So maybe, I mean, who's to say? I mean, we got Luis Passarello coming back, but I feel like the tight end room. Of course, I have Mateer being that starter, but who knows how the rest of that room really shakes out. And yeah, I know his mom commented on one of my videos, Big Dog, and she said he's 6'3", not 6'1". Can you verify how tall Morgan Pearson is? Because if he's 6'3", I'm not going to be calling him an undersized tight end if he's 6'1".
No, I would definitely say he's not 6'1". I say he's on the taller side because I feel like he was a taller linebacker at
Yeah.
6'3". Him and Victory Johnson are taller linebackers. So with him moving the tight end, and the word that I got was looking at his film, he has great hands, can run, can be a difference maker at the tight end slot spot because of his speed and his size, 6'3". So he came over as a recruit as a wide receiver slash tight end. So they moved him to linebacker. Uh, with the other linebackers, more seasoned linebackers coming in now, and with the lack of depth at the tight end position, that was a move by Corey Phillip, director of player personnel, who knows these things and knows the guys that he's bringing in, not just somebody down the street who said, I think he should play. He's the guy that recruited these guys and brought them in. So he knows that they are their abilities. So with him saying and suggesting that he should go move over there, I think is a good thing for Pearson. And it's a avenue in a way to where he can get on the field. He'll be competing with Savell Smalls, who came over from defensive end to tight end. Passarello, who dealt with some injuries last year.
Yeah.
Shimon Mateer, who's looking to be the starter. And I think they have a couple other guys back there at the tight end position, but that's pretty much a depth right there at the tight end spot.
And I think he's got the physicality. I mean, you see the hits that he was laying as a DB back there in high school, man. I feel like he can develop into a well-rounded tight end, somebody that can block and go and catch the ball.
Yeah, if he has no problem with being physical and he already has those receiver skills, he's going to be fine at that tight end spot. Favorite additions, real quick, before we move on. Favorite additions to Colorado football so far. This would be a staff member or a player.
Okay, well, staff member got to go with Coach Riss. That guy is awesome, man. He's on top of it. If you guys don't follow his YouTube channel for his whole Recruiting 101 series, y'all definitely do that. He's a very inspiring guy, very charismatic personality. I love that he's here, man. Definitely has become one of my favorite buffs already. So
I just, not to cut you off, but since you said that, I just posted a video with Blaze responding back to him. But did you know that Coach Riz was smart enough and heady enough to know that I'm going to offer this kid? It's a kid named Blaze Ingram that's been cutting up youth football for the past few years. And Coach Riz, while he was a recruiter at FAMU, reached out to him and offered him his first. He offered him his first, scholarship to FAMU. And the kid was excited about it. Then he responded, and I asked Coach Riz about it. He said the kid, is built for it. He's made for it, but he also has over 800,000 followers, and he knew that would be a great look for FAMU. Do you see a situation where Coach Riz can double back and say, hey, I'm at Colorado now, dog. Maybe I can offer you to come to Colorado with Coach Prime. Would that be a good move?
I love it. I love it. Yes. He's got the vision. I think Coach Riss has can look at things a little bit unconventionally, which is kind of how we're approaching this whole thing. It's not the norm of how we go about doing things. And so I feel like he's a creative mind along the same lines as Corey Phillips and, of course, Coach Prime. So I feel like he's a great fit here, man. Anything else that you want to say about Coach Riss?
No, just look out for the show coming up. Tomorrow is the first show. Tomorrow, myself and Coach Riz going live. We will be doing this weekly where we'll give advice for parents, coaches, players, and all recruits out there, not just Colorado football, but all recruits across the nation, across the world who needs recruiting advice, how to get in school. You're a small town recruit. I'm a parent of a recruit that I think is a good player, but I don't know what to do next. what shall I do? Tune in to this show tomorrow, and myself and Coach Riz will have the recruiting one-on-one, the recruiting biz breakdown with Big Dog and Coach Riz tomorrow, same time we're on right now with Dog and Dave. All right. Yep. So yeah, I think that would be my favorite edition also. So
in terms of the player, though, this is interesting, man, because do I want to take like the defense? We talked about the offensive line. I'm gonna go Flash, man. I'm gonna go Flash. Dude, I love this guy, LeJontay Wester, man. I love the fact that he's come in here and yeah, like we just got burners, man. We got burners. We're continuing to get faster. I wish Tarvaris Dawson, was able to stick around, but I still feel like we have pretty good depth at that slot position right now, and I think the speedier guys that we can get. This guy's a beast on special teams as well, so you might see him impact 2 phases of the game, which is ideal. We need that replacement of that kind of weapon that Zay Weaver was doing punt returns for us and catching passes. And I think, LeJontay Wester's a guy that you got to account for. So I'm excited to see. And the fact that like Shador reached out to him personally, like on Twitter when he hit the portal and he decided to come out here, like that shows like all you need to know about how Shador regards this guy. Like, he regards him as like a main weapon for him. So I'm excited, man. Well, what about you?
As far as players go, my favorite addition, we said the transfer basically. So I kind of like the same question almost, but
yeah.
I would say it's gonna be BJ Green, the edge rusher.
Let's go.
It's gonna be BJ because he's gonna bring that funk off that end. Watch what I tell you. All right, we got a couple super chats that came in. Shout out to the super chats on the David Talks Buffs page. East Coast Kev, $5 saying, speaking of Shannon Sharp, you might as well say RIP to Skip Bayless' career. The nursing home is waiting.
Damn.
I would say the beach is waiting, but yes, it's going down right now. But if he mess around and get Paul Pierce, like I read this morning, that might help rejuvenate it. Richard Sherman got in trouble. He might be out of there. Michael Irvin, I think people are kind of hit and miss on him. Same with Keyshawn Johnson. So they had to bring them together. Paul Pierce will bring that controversy, and he will say anything. So we'll see.
Hey, Big Dog, I just got to throw this out there here real quick. Have people over at FS1 consider that maybe Skip Bayless is the reason why they're not doing well with the ratings? But I will say Coach Prime's a better man than I am because I feel like Coach Prime's the only guy I know that loves Skip Bayless, man.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I know.
I love you to life, dog. I love you to life. I think, whatever relationship they had, Prime respects it. And, Prime loves Weezy also. So, whatever you guys had going on, that's fine. As long as our relationship stays straight, then cool. Yeah. He messed around and step on my toes out. He messed around and I didn't mean to say it, but he messed around and come on, dog. He messed around and step out of line with Coach Prime, then I'm sure Coach Prime would check him.
Yeah, make him kiss the ring.
make him kiss the whistle.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, another super chat real quick. Kenobi said, Chico, how many copies of Prime book did you buy? Here. I got some sent to me. How about that?
Hey, isn't it available on Spotify, I heard, as an audiobook if you don't like reading?
Oh, I can't wait. I might need to get that now because he said the audiobook is probably better than reading the book because he put in the sound effects behind it for the emotions and stuff. So he said when he says something, you might hear a dun dun dun.
Oh, see, that's nice.
But it's different from any other just regular audiobook. So I can't wait to read that or listen to that myself. So yeah, I'm glad you said something about that. I might need to go ahead and order the audiobook right now. Get you some if you haven't already. $10 Bodie C on David Talks Buffs page said Shador rated an 8 on the ESPN list of QBs. What do y'all think about that? I think that's crazy.
Oh yeah. They did like a top 10.
Yeah, I'm like, I kept looking like, where is Shador?
Yeah. I'll put him in the top 5. Dude, they had Jalen Daniels ahead of him.
Yeah,
and
man.
Jalen Daniels barely played anything last year,
That's just let them do what they do. At the end of the season, holler at me. At the end of the season, we'll see what happens then. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm on. So shout out. I appreciate the super chat, Bodie C, and anybody else who came through with a super
thanks,
chat
y'all.
donation. Thank you very much for the lookout. Y'all want to continue to see this show, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button and notification bell wherever channel you're listening on. It doesn't matter. Both of them, all of them, do your thing. You feel me? Let me see. Got some comments. I'm looking at these comments. You feel me? You too, right? That's because Skip's coverage back in the day in the Cowboys fan. I saw something I wanted to highlight, but
oh no, what was it about?
Shoot, they coming through. But super chat,
my toes.
We'll make sure we highlight it. What'd you say? Step on my toe. Yeah, honestly, after Stephen A, it was hard to think Skip could get someone that's good, but just knocked it out of the park. Yep. I don't know. He should have retired after that instead of trying to revive it the way that he did.
Hey, this is a tangent, Big Dog, but I almost kind of feel like I know that Shannon and Stephen A, they're doing really well right now. But I almost feel like that kind of debate style, it might kind of run the end of its course a little bit. I'm starting to enjoy the Stephen A. Smith podcast show a little bit more than First Take. What say you?
Yeah, because now these guys are able to, they have a day job where they have to discuss this within this amount of time, but now they're able to create their own platforms, i.e. Dog and Dave, and they can talk about whatever they want to speak about. And ESPN and whatever company they work for in the daytime really can't do anything or shouldn't be able to do anything about that, because what are they going? Oh, you on your nightcap talking about having sex with women, Uncle Shay Shay. How you doing that? Well, that has nothing to do with our daytime audience. Now, if your audience comes over and view us at night, that's their choice.
Right.
You guys are not supporting or not promoting this. So, it's two different lanes. So I feel like what they're doing is excellent. I think ESPN opened the door for it, though, when they hired Pat McAfee.
Mm-hmm.
Once they did that, they told all of their talent, on-air talent, that, hey, without saying it, y'all need to be creating your own platforms, because that can create you a bag. We just paid McAfee $85 million for a platform that he already had prior to coming to us.
No doubt. Yeah, when they're putting Pat McAfee on the show and they're talking about aliens and stuff like that, man, it just opens up all sorts of possibilities.
They put this man on the show wearing a black tank top. You know what I mean? So real quick before Dave got to get out of here, or we have to get out of here, let's go ahead and get a couple of chat questions and comments right now.
Yes.
All right. Let me see. Peter said Michael Irvin, hard to understand. And Sherman wasn't doing well. No chemistry with Skip, I agree. Keyshawn is lazy, can't fake analyst. It's like someone talking about without knowing. If you follow you know what? You pretty right, Peter. You damn near broke it down. Keyshawn is building his own platform also, which I think he's more interested in. He's probably already gotten paid from FS1 and Skip, so shouts out to Keyshawn.
You can't have Keyshawn talking about NBA. Those were the roughest segments, man. When you got him talking about sport, he's just not really following, man. Just trying to BS his way through on half those segments.
That's crazy, man. All right, look like I got a super chat on my end. I appreciate it, William Berry, my guy. What's up, Chico and Dave? I finally had a DJ McKinney sighting on campus.
Cool.
Yeah, nice. This guy's super long arms, like Coach Prime said, and gonna be the buff sleeper killer, man. He has 3 years, but will be NFL ready after the 2024 season. I think so too, with those long arms, like Coach Prime pointed out. And they did a comparison. Man had whole hand length longer than Coach Prime, and he was telling them, as a cornerback, this is what you want. You want long arms and quick feet, and that's what he has. So that's why I'm excited about him. 6'2" cornerback. Hodge is more of a shorter, stockier, stronger cornerback. Then you have the length of Kamani McLean also. These guys can come into their own. Shout out to the craftiness and the strength of Marion Cooper. Also, these guys can come into their own. We got a strong defensive cornerbacks unit on this Buffs team.
All 6 foot plus, baby. I love it. No short corners here.
I think Namir Robinson and Israel Solomon got something to say about that.
Oh, well, no short scholarship cornerbacks here. Sorry for the dig. Sorry, man. You want that scholarship? You got to grow 3 inches, man. You know.
Hey, man, boy. Whew. Sound bites. All right. Smoke nuggets. Oh man,
we got one from East Coast. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, on David Talk Buffs page, another super chat said, "Let's cut the crap. Fox should skip on Skip and bring back Shannon Sharp with Ocho and Paul Pierce. Ooh, that'll beat out ESPN. But guess what? O'Shea Sharp ain't going back over there. O'Shea Sharp is good. Oh, Ocho, Shea Sharp. Oh, I'm good. I got my Black and Miles. I got my Hennessy Ocho. Good over here on ESPN with my brother Stephen A. If he go and get Paul Pierce, let him get Paul Pierce. Ocho. You got Gil. You got Stephen A. We good, Ocho. We just hit 100 million. We good.
I got another thought with this. Big Dog, have you seen when Paul Pierce was on the Showtime basketball shows with KG?
On the live? Oh my
dude,
God.
He turns up on those shows, man. That's the kind of version of Paul Pierce I want.
Yeah, that's the real deal right there, dog.
He is a dog.
Let Paul Pierce be the Paul Pierce that he is. I don't think Skip is ready for that. He might be trying to get the ratings, but I don't think he's ready for that, dog. Let Paul Pierce do Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Paul Pierce need his own show with some drink and some smoke and a couple of girls back there and KG on the side and let him do his thing. Let him just talk. So yeah, man. Hey, we can get on whatever topic on this show. That's what we do. Dog and Dave. Last thing before we get out of here, though, I did make this post right here. My top Heisman candidates were Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders. I got Jalen Milroe from Alabama, and then Dylan Gabriel.
Dude, thank you.
Going to Oregon. What do you think about that list? Who would be at the top of your list? Who would be your top 4 Heisman Trophy candidates?
Oh, man. Great question. I mean, I definitely have all these guys. A lot of people have been crapping on Dylan Gabriel, but guys, I think he's a really good quarterback, a really good college quarterback. And the Oregon Ducks machine up there, the PR machine, Dan Lang, like those guys play for clicks too. We all know that. There's going to be a Heisman campaign out there for Dylan Gabriel. Like, I would not be surprised to see him as a finalist one bit. Like, he's a really good quarterback. I think one other guy that I have my mind on is Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. I mean, this is the year for Ole Miss, Big Dog. They got all the transfers. They've had a handful of guys there now for multiple years. This is really the best team that Lane Kiffin has put together at Ole Miss. Like, this is the year, especially with Alabama. I mean, I don't expect them to make the playoff right now, the expanded playoff with just the coaching transition. But this is the year where the SEC is completely up for grabs, man. So that is, that's my thing. You going to fight back on me on Alabama? Give it to me.
Well, let me say this. The reason why I put this list up there and somebody said that list is bias or that list is favoritism or whatever, but the reason why I pick these guys, right, I can tell you why. Of course, and let's start at the bottom with Gabriel. All right, this is a guy who put up numbers at the previous schools he was at, UCF and Oklahoma, right? And then you come over to a system like Oregon where you know that they're going to be passing the ball, putting up numbers, a lot of free throws and a lot of dink and dunks where the wide receivers can put up the numbers for the quarterback. So I think that's going to continue in that Oregon system with Dylan Gabriel, a ready and willing quarterback. And it might be favoritism because guess what? He comes from Mililani out here in Hawaii. And then you go back to my home state of Jalen Milroe.
That's right.
And he speaks for himself. He should have probably been there last year had he won a couple.
I think he
Won,
should have been too.
with his ability and the things that he can do, the numbers he can put up, he should be on anybody's list. Same thing with Shedeur Sanders, but he is still a quarterback wild card. Why do I say that? Shedeur Sanders is a wild card. Why? Because still the Heisman has to win the games, right? A lot of people don't project Colorado as winning enough games for the Heisman, but Chico did. I do, because when they put up these numbers and win and get into the playoffs and mess around and upset somebody, you got to have Shedeur Sanders in the Heisman race, because he's going to have the numbers. Just at least the minimum, he's going to have the numbers. All they need is the wins. Now, with what Travis Hunter can do, he might not even need the wins, but the wins will be a bonus for him. If he can do the same thing he did last year on both sides of the ball, but you add in those 3 or 4 games that he missed, those numbers are going to go off the charts. He'll have over 1,000 yards, 6, 7 touchdowns on offense, 2 or 3, 1 to 3 on defense. That solidifies the Heisman Trophy for Travis Hunter, and also a back-to-back winner, first time ever, of the Paul Hornung Award. That's my thought. That's my take. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all agree with it, put it in the comments. If not, let me know. Shouts out to Beck from Georgia, and Ewers from Texas, and Dart from Ole Miss, and quarterback from Ohio State, and all the other big schools. Yeah, they're going to put up numbers, but those are my 4. All right.
I like it. I think, man, Big Dog, I agree with you. I think that, if we make the playoff, I think Shedeur is definitely in there, man. I think the floor for Travis to get in there is definitely lower in terms of like what's needed. As long as he stays healthy with that production and we reach 8-9 wins, I think he'll be in consideration right then for that Heisman Trophy. So it's going to be exciting stuff, man. Going to be a great year. I love the fact that we don't start off the Big 12 conference with like the best teams like we did this past year. So that last 4 or 5 games are really tough, and hopefully we can be a better team later on in the year than and continue to get better, so we can play our best ball against the best opponents. So
I think we will. And shouts out to the comments right now talking about from 4 wins to a playoffs team. Yes. And that's going to make it continue to be the biggest story that we've seen in sports in a long time, piggybacking off last year. Yes. With the additions that's going to come after the spring, yes, we will be a playoff team. Since ESPN dropped the spring game, Coach Kev will be broadcasting live on TV. Yeah. All right, man. That's what it is. Another episode of Dog and Dave. Dave went to the dark side on us. Dark side Dave. But for more, make sure you hit right there, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you don't miss out. And get ready for the merch that's coming through. Appreciate all the super chats and any Cash App donations. Let them know your Cash App, Dave. You can hit mine at Speed Hustle TV Cash App right now if you want to. Dave, what's yours?
Man, I can't even tell you, but go to my channel. You can drop a little gift donation. Just do that. We had Amber. I think her name was Amber or Anna. Anna. She dropped me a $5 gift the other day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all the donations and super chats to keep us going on these platforms. As y'all know, YouTube has gotten real iffy as of right now because, it's not in the season. So we're trying to do our thing to pump out good content, quality content for you guys as much as we can. But Dog and Dave, each and every week, we're going to go every Tuesday. Should we go ahead and lock it in for each Tuesday?
Dude, man, let's just do it, man. Let's just do it. I'm ready to get back being on rhythm, baby.
That's right. Each Tuesday, my guy, Dog and Dave, myself, and David Talks Buffs. All right. That's all from us today. We're going to be up and about this thing. Hit the like, subscribe, coming all the other good stuff. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah. Dog and Dave.
Let's go.
That's another episode of Dog and Dave.
Man, thanks.